Good evening, friends. I am Ravindra Srinivasa from SRAA Media. Today, I have a special guest with me, Raksha Chandnani. She is a ghostwriter, B2B and B2C content writer on leadership and hospitality, and she is also good in spirituality. I welcome Raksha Chandnani from Barcelona, Spain, to our knowledge sharing program. Welcome, Raksha.
Thank you, Ravindra, so much for the lovely introduction. It's nice to be here, and it's nice to be on this platform and share what I've learned and with your viewers today.
You are most welcome, Raksha. Raksha, I like to request you, please brief about you so that our audience are eager to know about you and it is
Sure.
for the knowledge. Yeah.
Sure. So my name is Raksha and I live in Barcelona. I was born in India, but my parents migrated when I was about 4 years old. So I grew up in this small country called Suriname in South America, one of the very least known countries and the only country that speaks Dutch because it was a former Dutch colony. I actually started working in HR after graduating, and both my degrees are in human resources. And that's when I started writing a little bit. I was doing memos, I was doing employee communications, I was doing some internal communication as well. And after a while, I decided that I liked the writing more. And when I went for my master's degrees, even my professors were very encouraging, saying you should write more, you should write more. So that's where the writing genie came out and decided to take over and I said, okay, bye-bye HR, let's just write instead.
Good.
And that was, and then the pandemic happened, and this is why I turned into a full-time writer as opposed to an HR practitioner as well.
Mm-hmm. Very nice to know. Raksha, with curiosity, I am asking, have you written any books? Have you published any?
Not yet, no, but I am planning to. I'm working on my own book at the moment.
Fine. I congratulate you to take that decision, and I wish all the best on our audience.
Thank you so much for the good wishes.
And Raksha, today, what knowledge and experience you are going to share with us?
I would like to share with you some experience about transferable skills, how they can get you ahead in your life, in your career. And I can share something about storytelling, which is basically what I focus on as a writer. Okay, so what I would like to share today is something about transferable skills. We all have skills that can go from one job to the other, and that's what we call transferable. You can transfer them from one role to another role without even thinking about it. This is something that I learned during the pandemic when I was transitioning from HR into becoming a writer full-time. Like I told you before, I was working with policies, I was writing memos, I was translating documents all the time. I was also writing internal communication. And the skill that I honed there were not HR policies and not HR writing, but it was writing in general. And that's when I realized that this is a skill that can be monetized, and you can also apply it in different sectors. You don't have to write policies for a living, but you can definitely do something that brings you success with the writing. And I wanted to write more, like I said, and I thought, what can I do with this? So I started to learn about how to become a writer officially. And then I got on LinkedIn, and then I started to write short posts on LinkedIn every day about past experiences in HR mostly. And then from HR experiences, I went to little anecdotes, stories about growing up as a third cultural kid. So these are things that you can monetize from your current job. So you may be good at, you may have learned Excel in some way or the other for your job, or you may have learned how to do process improvement because you're working at an airport, or you are working in a logistics role, and you can apply these same skills in different roles. So bear in mind, those transferable skills will not be obvious to you, but if you start to write down everything that you've ever done, if you have your CV and you write down in results what you were able to achieve with those skills, they might be something that you might be able to do in the future. So if you're looking for a job change, don't be afraid. And I would say work with a coach to identify your transferable skills, or even with a resume writer. Nowadays, resume writers are really good with helping you to identify the skills that you can go from one job to the other with ease. So that's lesson number 1.
Okay, quite interesting and quite informative. Yes.
Okay. And so when I started writing on LinkedIn, people started reading a lot, because in 2020 we were all inside. We had a lot of time at hand. We were always looking for entertainment, but I was looking to communicate. I felt that there was so much to learn from the outside world, and the reason why I started sharing stories was to gain perspectives. Because when you have a story in your mind, when you have an experience, it's only yours. But when you share it with the world, it becomes something that other people can talk about. They can share their perspectives, and you learn again. It's not just one recorded experience that replays in your mind, but you can look at it differently when people share what they think. They can share how you can look at it differently and maybe change the narrative. So especially for an experience that has been painful or sad or hurtful for us. So we can always change that with perspectives. So I started sharing these stories about work, what had happened with one colleague, how one leader had been very exemplary, and people started associating with that. And that's when I realized the power of storytelling. I took this course on storytelling, and I saw that it's actually something that you can use for marketing, for writing, and also for your branding, because branding and marketing, they go hand in hand, because you identify your brand and then you can sell it, right? So when you want to build the brand, the storytelling is very, very important. And that's what I started to learn, saying, okay, so what is the story I tell people about myself? Who am I? What are my skills? And what can I help you with? So my own story is, I'm someone from an HR background. I've migrated many times in life, and I have a lot of cultural knowledge. I have a lot of interest in spirituality, in leadership, in HR. And I take that knowledge and I can write you beautiful blogs so that your brand can stand out. So this is an example of storytelling. This is my story working for me as a brand and helping other businesses to become their brand. So this is the power of storytelling that you can harness. And there's many, many courses I could recommend to you. Okay. And you can learn this and you can monetize it. And you can always grow your own brand on LinkedIn, and you can grow your brand as a business as well with storytelling skills. This is why ads are so intriguing. When we see a little child in an ad, we always think, oh, I want to watch it. But why do we want to watch it? Because it's so gripping, right? It's like, okay, what happens next? And then in the end, they reveal the ad to you, they reveal the product or the service. But they don't reveal the product or the service right away, because then you're going to swipe left and think, I don't want to watch this. So that's the story I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
That is very good. It is very informative, and your speaking and your presentation is opening the minds of the people and the listeners, definitely. And definitely, Raksha, I would like to share your contact and email ID in our description box, so that anybody, the viewers who would like to know more about storytelling and the more about HR related activities, as you said in point number 1. So definitely they will write and they will come back to you. I hope you don't mind to help them and support them.
No, absolutely not. Please feel free to share the LinkedIn profile. I think that's easier, so that people can be in touch from there.
Yes.
And they can connect, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to elaborate on anything they need help with. And I'm, sometimes I'm not the right person. I can always direct you to the person who's maybe better at one skill than I am. And that's what networking is all about. So I would be happy to do that.
I thank you very much for sparing your time with us. And definitely I will be contacting you quite often to take knowledge and experience from your side to our audience.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ravindra, for the opportunity. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I really appreciate it, and please feel free to get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.